So here are the colors we're blending today. Color 4, 27, and 30. Hi. Right, so the color 4 is from Expression, and the 27 and 30, I got it off of probably Amazon or AliExpress or Shein, one of the two. The texture of the 27 and 30 is quite silky, so you would need to be a very experienced braider to be able to use these extensions, while the Expression has got a nice texture to it, so it's easier to grip. So that is just some free information that I'm giving you for when you're looking forward to order your hair from. Expression is the perfect consistency. I think there are a few brands that the texture of the hair is just right for braiding. You don't have to strain and grip the hair too much. Well, this too, even though I'm used to it now, but if you're a beginner braider, this too would give you some trouble. All right, let's begin. Oh, 1 second, let me get my tools. Right, so I have a pair of scissors just to snip out the stringy ends, my brush, and my oil sheen. I start off by spraying a generous amount of oil sheen. This will just help the braiding process go smoother, so as you're brushing through, the brush just glides through the hair and you're not fighting principalities and powers. Okay, right. Obviously for this, I am showing you equal parts of each. For yourself personally, you can decide that you want to make it darker, so you would use more of the color 4, or whichever color you like best, you use more of that. But this is equal parts. My God. Let me adjust the settings because I think I need this to be a bit brighter. I need it to be a bit brighter. No, that's not happening. Okay. Thank you. And you. Oh, yeah, now you can see me. How about that? Too much. From here. From here. Yeah, we'll stick to this one. At least I'm still visible, but I'm not like blown up. Okay, so here we are. The mixing process is pretty straightforward. A bit time consuming if you're not used to it, but pretty straightforward nevertheless. You're just splitting the hair. But when you split the hair, think of it as though you're shuffling cards and not just splitting the hair straight down the middle. Okay? So you want to be light with your fingers. You want to be quite light with your fingers like that, and then separate the hair. Oops. I quite like this angle. Okay, at this point we'll brush and see what we get out of this. Okay, now for a person that likes to see the individual colors, you don't want the blend to be so deep that you're not really sure what colors were blended in, I would say this is a good enough place to stop, because you can still see quite a bit of the 27, the 4, the 30 is there. So here, if you like your blend to be choppy, still appreciate the individual colors, stop here. But we're going to blend a bit further. I'm going to spray a bit more, just a bit. Brush it through. Then proceed to blend a bit more. move back a bit so you can see more of the hair, less of me. There we go. As you come across tangles, just gently remove them with your fingers. I feel like everyone has their own way of blending hair. I see a lot of different ways that people do it online, but you find the one that works for you, that doesn't give you a backache, wrist ache, shoulder ache. Because this is a workout. People think it's simple, but it's a workout. Because your shoulders, oh, your shoulders are like constantly in a very awkward position, which is not good for you. So sometimes I find that my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, my wrist sometimes hurts. Around this area, I'm not sure what it's called, the elbow, around the elbow area. If I've been blending a lot, I end up having like a bit of fluid buildup. So you wanna be careful. Take breaks. Take breaks regularly. If you're doing this as a braider and you've got a lot of clients that want their hair braided, please take regular breaks. Massage your hands just to get everything flowing and not stagnant. Oh, actually, let me show you what it looks like after our second stop. So this is for someone that doesn't like a blend that is too deep, but at the same time they don't want a blend that is too choppy. So just somewhere in between. Okay, so you would stop here. Okay, this would still be a very beautiful, in fact I'm tempted to stop here. But I would just like to blend a tiny bit more, or a bit more, so that it comes together even more. I feel like I'm saying more quite a bit, but anyway. And as you can see, I'm actually blending in real time, so it's been 7 minutes or 8 minutes at this point. And like I said in a previous video, just to make my life easier, I am trying not to over edit my videos. If I can help it, not to edit it at all, to just literally take it from my camera roll and post it. Because being a content creator, and a mom and an entrepreneur is a lot. Okay, so I need to ensure that I make my life easier. Okay, so you guys will get the raw and uncut version of this. So you start to see where they're like huge chunks of one color, and you just basically move that around. If you're a beginner, please don't rush. Take your time. You rush, half of this hair will be on the floor. I've just been doing this for a long time, so I know when to loosen my grip and I know when to grip tightly. Oh, there's a huge chunk of 27 there. A huge congregation of number 27. Right, let's brush through a bit. I'm currently using a ring light. So once I'm done with this blend, I am going to show you what it looks like in natural light. That way you can like fully appreciate it. And I was gonna say number 27, but literally any shade of hair, braiding hair, is not gonna be consistent with different brands. So one brand, you might find that the 27 is a lot more golden, more warm, and another brand, the 27, is a lot more I don't know, toned down. So the results are going to vary depending on what brand of hair you use, and it won't vary that much. It'll just be a slight difference. It takes like a really good eye to tell the difference. But just so you know, so you don't go buy a different brand, you do the thing and you say, but it didn't look quite like that when Grace did it. Just keep that in mind. There will be a slight tint difference. I'm not sure if that's the terminology for it. Now at this point, I tend to just use the brush to move the hair around and brush through, instead of like splitting and mixing. I will proceed to do that anyway, but at this point I'm using the hair to move. I'm using the brush. Yes, can you see this? I'm using the brush to move the hair around, so it's not just one clump of a singular color. Okay, this one is prison breaking. Come back here. Not, do I even have time for this? Excuse me guys, I have got a bit of a tickly throat. Hopefully I'm not coming down with anything. So far this is the hair that has that we are losing. Okay, just gonna cut it out because it's taking over the brush now. It seems like much, but when I wrap it around, it's not that much. So basically that's how much hair we've lost at the moment. Okay, when we look at the ends, they're a bit too dramatic, so I'm gonna trim them out. This is where your scissor comes in, because then those will cause tangles as you're mixing. So just trim off that excess end before you proceed. Okay, there, don't be scared, it's still long. Right, just checking if I need to trim off just a tiny bit. Okay, spray a bit more. And just watch as the brush glides through the hair. Now at this point, this is what it's looking like. Focus on the hair, not me. This is what it's looking like. I would like to stop here. I think I like that. I mean, you could blend even deeper than this, but I think then it would just become like one color and you lose out on the dimension. So I would stop here. I think this is gorgeous. This would suit any skin tone. This is actually very similar to the same color that I've got in my hair at the moment, except at the moment I have a lot of color 4, and I've just added highlights of 30 and 27. Okay, so in the braid form, this is what it would look like. Like I said, this would suit any skin tone. Sorry, I forgot to look at the camera lens and I was looking at that lens. But anyway, I hope this was helpful. Oh no, I'm not done. I'm gonna show you this in the natural light. I'm also going to do a braid and a twist just to show you what it looks like. So at this point I'm gonna pause the camera, because if I had to go away and come back, then this is a whole extra 5-10 minutes. So I'm gonna pause, come back and show you. Okay, don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Let me just bring down that brightness a bit so you can really see and appreciate. Right, so this is what it looks like as a twist, and this is what it looks like as a braid. I must add that mixing the two textures helps to give the silkier texture a bit more grip. So the expression actually helps to make the silkier texture a bit more braidable. So if you've ever wondered if it's okay to mix two different brands or two different textures, it's okay as long as it's the same type of material or fiber. And in this case, all three of them are kanekalon. It's just been processed differently, I think. But they're all 100% kanekalon, so you can mix the both of them together. You just need to read the packaging and see, because then you might find that one hair you cannot dip in hot water and the other one you can. So those two you wouldn't mix. So if both of them is hot water set or whatever, you can use a bit of heat on it, then you can mix the two together and you'll be just fine.